I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
It's totally okay. Imagine we're having lunch or we're having...
Oh, I like lunch.
Yeah, me too. Imagine that we're just talking.
Sean, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to be honest. The truth is, eat and sleep is my thing.
Eating and sleeping.
I am Emily. I am 32-year-old a woman with Down syndrome. I am a housekeeper. I clean. I do fantastic. I am fantastic, terrific. I do a good job in the housekeeping. I love it, and it's very challenging for me.
My name is Deshaun Carter, and I'm a laundry worker here at Northwest Center. What I do is sort towels and organize all the towels and put it together. Every day I get here about 8 o'clock in the morning. I clock in, then I go straight to it.
Jackson is a spitfire when he wants to be. He is full of life.
He can throw a tantrum with the best of them, but most of the time he's just a really happy-go-lucky, playful kid.
With the genetic syndrome that he was diagnosed with, we wanted to make sure that Jackson had the biggest and most supportive community possible.
Northwest Center was started in 1965 by 4 mothers in Seattle who were told their children didn't belong in the school, in the church, or the community and should be put in institutions. It started out as a school in the basement of a synagogue and has grown from there. Later, those 4 mothers, with the help of Senator McNamara, wrote a blueprint for IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. So fast forward today, 55 years later, Northwest Center is still about inclusion, and it's about the value that society is not taking advantage of because they are not being inclusive. So again, it's not about, this isn't the benefit for people with disabilities. This is the benefit for the rest of us by being more inclusive. God made all of us, so there's value in all of us. The responsibility, then, if you're a person of faith, again, no matter what faith you might subscribe to, would be that you include everyone.
Hi, Bob.
How are you? At Northwest Center, we have our mission programs, which include early learning, early intervention, and employment services. And we also have 6 commercial businesses, from a commercial laundry to integrated facility services like landscaping, janitorial, shipboard loading, all the way to a partnership with Amazon. There you go. So again, these are really commercial businesses. These aren't what somebody might label typically as social enterprises.
Good.
Yeah.
Disability, no disability, we're all working together as a team. My name is Ofelia Almanza. I work for Puget Sound Laundry Services, a division of Northwest Center. We have over 24 luxury hotel customers, and we also have a military contract. We're a for-profit business, but our profit goes back to our nonprofit, which is Northwest Center. In our night shift, 80% of the people that work for us have a disability. And during our day shift, 30% of the people that work for us have a disability.
Common misconception is they can't fit in the workplace or they can't work at all. And that's not true. You just have to find out what they're good at and what they can do. My name is D'Angelo Carter. I'm the brother of Deshaun Carter. I'm his older brother. Before he got here, his confidence was very low. His self-esteem was very low. And now he holds himself at a higher degree.
Deshaun, would you agree that you've grown in confidence here?
I agree. I see my I see myself change and progress.
Had you had a job before this?
No, this is my first job.
If someone was to get hired here, what kind of qualities or values do they need to be successful?
if you show up every day on time and consistent work ethic, you don't have to be completely perfect, but at least maintain your drive, want to try, keep maintaining that consistently, work hard.
All abilities can mean a person that has a learning impairment or a hearing impairment or maybe a physical impairment. A lot of people think that because we employ people of all abilities that our job is easier or that we get special perks or something similar to that. We actually don't. Our laundry is just like any other laundry. It's just better, honestly.
So when we go to employers, we don't say, hey, can you hire somebody with a disability from a place of charity or social responsibility? Because really, quite frankly, that's not it. It's about solving business problems.
The big difference with Northwest Center is that we have a focus and a mission of inclusion. My name is Katrina Karen. I am the director of an early learning center called Northwest Center Kids at Chinook, which is downtown Seattle. So our mission really is about 40% of our kids in each classroom has some sort of disability or delay.
Diversity and inclusion was really important to us because we knew Jackson might have issues that we needed a community to support us through.
Have a good day. Thank you very much. We knew we couldn't go to just any daycare because of Jackson's feeding tube, but the first thing my wife told me about when she mentioned Northwest Center was their inclusion policy of just every child, no matter their situation, does every activity with every other child.
Almost. Turn it again.
Every child deserves to be valued for who they are and what they bring and allowed opportunities to grow and shine.
All right, friends. Who would like to wash hands for breakfast?
So in very simple business terms, early learning and early intervention is creating the workforce that we're going to rely on in the future. Why not invest in that resource?
We need to have children with disabilities allowed all the same opportunities because they can do so much. And we also need our typically developing children to see that the world is not just made of people who look like them and think like them and feel like them, but that there's a vast variety of people who bring value to their lives.
Jackson now has his tube out. He has no feeding tube anymore. I think Northwest Center's inclusion policy helped push him because it wasn't just mom and dad at mealtimes showing him to eat, it was peers.
From the very beginning, we started seeing big changes. It was amazing.
I've worked for Northwest Center Kids Chinook for 5 years, and when I started there, Chinook was really looking to add an aide in the morning that could be very independent, and Emily was like, perfect.
What's the best thing about your job?
My favorite thing? You want to know my favorite thing? Weights.
She's very time conscious and is very independent. And she literally every day gets her tasks done. And, oh, sorry, she's smiling at me.
What's the staff like? What are your coworkers like?
Right. Well, they're awesome. They're like my best friend. We all just like best friends. Like a family.
How does it make you feel that you have this job?
It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel happy inside. It makes me feel happy inside. Also makes me feel happy from the outside too.
What were your first impressions of it? What was it like?
It took me time to adjust, but after being able to adjust to my environment, it was great. Great.
What do you hope for him? What are your dreams?
Oh boy. Oh boy. How much time you got?
My hopes for Jackson's future are just like any other parent.
I want him to have a normal childhood with normal ups and downs.
I want him to be loved by everyone because he's absolutely worthy of it, as any child is.
At Northwest Center, we are winning because of inclusion, not in spite of inclusion. And that's what maximizes business value for the customers that we're serving. It maximizes the impact we have with early intervention. It maximizes the impact we have with the clients we place in employment. And again, it goes back to we all have value and that we're all driven to contribute. And so for the rest of society, these are not burdens on society. If they are, it's our own doing, it's not their doing. And so why don't we do something to change that?